Welcome to the day 34 of our UGC-NET Paper I class. In today's class, we are continuing with the yesterday's class, that is Indian means of knowledge. And today we are going to see about Pramanas. So here we are continuing with the Unit-6 logical reasoning. And one more thing I want to clarify. Actually, according to our previous schedule, only Pratyaksha and Anumana was scheduled for today's class, and then these both Upamana and Shabda was scheduled for other class. So two reasons I have merged in this class. Because first reason, each even combining all these four also, the class contents of the class which I want to deliver is very much minimal, so it will take very less time. First reason. Second reason, since the exam is next week, so as I said yesterday, I think Jatin was not there, Kodai ma'am was there. As I said, I am winding up the class for this week. That's all. From for the whole next week, there won't be any class. I want to give you guys time for preparing for the exam in your own subjects. So the next class would be on the 30th. So for these two reasons, before completion of this week, I want to complete this unit. So today I will be covering all these four topics, and next tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I think most probably I will complete tomorrow. Still, if it extends, by Thursday I will complete this unit. So by now or by Thursday, by the end of this week, we would have completed 5 units in our paper 1. So I have given completed 5 units, given PPTs for all the units, and as I said, sorry for repeating the same thing, and I have prepared the notes for unit 1. I have completed just unit 1. That itself is coming around 300 pages. So alignment part is going on. Within if there is if I complete class tomorrow, so in Thursday, Friday, I will be sending you the notes which I have prepared. So it somehow it might be useful for your preparation in the exam. So that's what I wanted to clarify. So without further ado, we will move on to the class. So this is in yesterday class itself. We have got a somewhat gist. Today we will be repeating the same thing. Even see here the Anumana part also again will be repeating in the next classes. So it is more of a repetition. So Jatin, sorry for asking, what is your mother tongue? Jatin, are you there?
Actually, yes. So, actually, I don't really know my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Maithili, but I don't know how to, speak.
Speak. Okay, fine. So you are well versed in Hindi. Yes.
Yes, Hindi, but you
See,
just
sorry
learn
for
and
asking. So
understand Hindi.
yes, I understand. The reason why I'm asking is that for Kode ma'am or the people who have attended, most of us here in this, including me, we are a majority of us.
Yes.
Our mother tongue is Tamil. So I'm just saying. So here, yesterday there was a confusion. I could sense that confusion when I was taking the class. People could not much understand about the subject, but what I suggested to them is that is the same thing I also am suggesting to you. See, basically this part of that is Indian logic and all those things, it is at the maximum, basically it is Sanskrit. So it is some, if not 100%, it is 80 to 85%. The wordings, certain main wordings are similar or equivalent to Hindi. So if you can understand better Hindi, you can understand all those things. And there are certain words that is exactly repeating with the same meaning in Tamil also. So what I suggested them is, since we have very much less time for preparing the exam, that is next week there is an exam. So what I suggested them is, instead of understanding all these slides and everything, if it is very much confusion or confusing, you just leave it. What I said is, you note down the word. See here, it is pramana. So you might have understand the meaning of that word pramana. In Tamil, it is pramanam. So in Padavi Pramanam, for Padavi ma'am I'm saying, so Padavi Pramanam, that is we are attaining something. So that means attaination. So once we learn that, understand the meaning of that particular word, we can employ that knowledge in answering the questions being asked in our exam. So what I suggested them is, in yesterday's slides and in today and tomorrow also, I will be explaining the words meaning with all the thing, whatever it is. See here, the pramana means proof, whatever. So I ask them to memorize the words alone. So if you understand the word, when the word comes in a question, you defaultly know that this word denotes this meaning. So you can easily understand the question and then answer efficiently. That's what I suggested. That is the same thing I am suggesting to you also. If you have a better knowledge of this subject, it is well and good. If not, for the rest of the time, it is very short period time, you just try to understand the meaning of the word, whatever word is here now. So see these many words, so you just have to understand the meaning of the word. Direct meaning itself mostly it will come, so you employ that direct meaning in the question and understand the question, then answer the subject. That's what I have suggested them. That is also the same thing I am suggesting you. Okay. Yes.
Sure. Thank you, Vivek. And just to add to that,
Yes.
so my paper two is comparative literature. My
Comparative
paper
literature.
two,
Okay, fine.
comparative literature. So yesterday, actually, I was reading the relationship between Tamil and Sanskrit for my paper two.
Okay, okay, fine. That's
Like
good.
how it evolved over the years and how everything happened, and how since 1920 there was, a rift between Tamil and Sanskrit. So this
Yes,
is
yes, yes.
my field of area. So yes, and because I don't know my mother tongue, I am interested in all the mother tongues. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Okay, so all the best. So let's, without further ado, let's move on to the class. So before going into anything, everything is known as Pramana here. In Indian logic, everything is Pramana. So Indian logic Pramanas refer to the epistemological tools or methods used in classical. So whatever tools, like yesterday we learned, no, so the study of Indian logic is known as epistemology. So whatever tools we are using to study that Indian logic, it is known as pramanas. So in Indian philosophy, to acquire valid knowledge and establish the truth of proposition. So these pramanas provide the basic systematic knowledge. So here it is more of a aid or a help to understand, or used by the individuals to understand the nature of reality and making recent judgments. So I think everyone might know about the various civilizations in the ancient world: Indus Valley civilization, Yellow River civilization, Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization. These four are considered the very earliest civilization. They have their own literature, all these four civilizations. They have their own infrastructure, whatnot, you name it. So in that, they, since language and literature was existing at that time, they have their own philosophy also. So here comes the biggest clash or confusion, where they are saying the same thing in their own understanding and different manner in different language. So now, since we are following Indian logic, we are using the predominantly used language at that time was Sanskrit. Actually, to be precise, it was not Sanskrit, I could say, because there were some Indus language, Indus river oriented language were there. But Sanskrit was the learned people language who used in the ministry level or higher level. So they, all the philosophers at that time were at the higher level, so they used this language. Say, hence all the wordings were in are majorly in the Sanskrit level. So here Pramana means proof and means of knowledge. So no matter what, in any logic we need a proof. It should be possible. So if it is not possible, that is if it is impossible, then we call that defying logic. Even in today's movies, whatever thing, we are expecting logic, basic logic. So suspension of disbelief is avoided at the maximum nowadays. So that means in earlier time, all these things were considered as proof and means of knowledge. So in Indian philosophies, Pramana is the means that can lead to knowledge and serve as one of the core concepts in the Indian epistemology. So what are all the features? So first thing, Pramanas are not only relevant in philosophy and logic, but also have practical applications in everyday life. So we seem to understand what is possible, what is not possible. Like even driving also, whether to turn left or right, it is possible. We are analyzing ourselves on when two vehicles are going in between, there is a gap. We are analyzing ourselves whether our vehicle could fit in that gap. That also how much speed we have to do. Everything we are calculating now. So that all those things could be called as pramanas. So then, for instance, we rely on our perception to navigate the world around us. This is the example which I have told you. So based on that, we perceive, then infer, and then make any assumptions. So by understanding the pramanas and their limitations, we can make more informed decisions and avoid common errors in reasoning. So these are the features of pramanas. Now next is types of pramanas. So like I said, in today's class we have planned for this only, but I have included other two. So in today's class we will see all these four, and tomorrow's class with these two, and the remaining thing we will cover. So these are the types of pramanas. So Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda, Arthapati, Anupalapadi. So all those things, and again here they are subdivided into further things. So see here in this image itself, they have given the direct word English meaning. So that means if you need not to know well about Sanskrit, but you can remember what is what. So once Pratyaksha means, if you know or if you remember perception means, then you know the meaning of perception. Basically you can analyze and solve the question in the exam. So Pratyaksha, what is Pratyaksha? So Pratyaksha Pramana is first of all the means to attain knowledge. See here the contradictory statement is given. If you look closely, Pratyaksha is directly means perception. So according to us, perception means we have some ideology or opinion about something. But here they are saying Pratyaksha Pramana means it is the means to attain knowledge. Any possible way to attain knowledge which enables people to have the right cognition. So Indian logic is incomplete without studying Pratyaksha. Here again, sorry for going back to the slide. So here one more thing, you see all these 6 types. You can consider them as, instead of types, you can consider them as 6 steps. Why? Because this is the base for all the thing. So without one thing, another cannot be appearing, or you can perceive anything. So instead of we are saying it as types, we can say them as steps of pramanas, or procedure, number of list of pramanas, so that a step-by-step procedure, one is influencing other and that is influencing other. So that is how Indian logic is incomplete without studying Pratyaksha. So there are several subparts. The concept of Pratyaksha is intricately woven into various aspects of Indian philosophical discourse. So whatever debate or anything we are discussing, we used to have a perception, we used to have an idea about one thing. So while we are discussing in this class itself, one might have one idea, another person might differ from that idea. So each person have their own idea or perception, so that they can form a debate or argument. So this Pratyaksha serves as the foundation for understanding the relationship between, see here, the knower, subject, the known, object, and the process of knowing, that is perception. So these three are interconnected, that is subject, object, and perception. So the knower, the person who knows, and the object which is already being known, and the process of knowing. So Pratyaksha plays a crucial role in validating other sources of knowledge. So like I said, based on this only anything is coming. So that means this plays a crucial role. Next is, here like I said, Pratyaksha comprises of two words. Pratyaksha, which means in front of the eyes. So here, just not eyes, we use all the sensory organs, all sense organs, no? So eyes, ears, nose, so whatever five how to say, in Tamil we'll say ஐம்புலன்கள், so that is five senses, where we used to touch, feel, that is touch, taste, and then see, hear, then breathe, that is air, like that we can say, no? So all those five things, whatever we are data or knowledge we are receiving through the means of five things, they could be called as Pratyaksha. And here, so we will see in the next slide also, there is direct and indirect concept. So Maharishi Gautama said that the knowledge originated by the contact of sense organs with the objects is the perception of its Avyapadeshya, Avyabhikari, and Vyavasyayamattak. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrongly, but I know that. So still, these are the words they are using to explaining the whatever feel knowledge we are obtaining through the use of sensory organs. So here comes the types of Pratyaksha. So I in some slides or in the bibliography I have given you a link. So in some link they have divided based on this, and in some they have divided based on this. So I have compiled into a simple difference. So types of Pratyaksha based on sense, based on reception of knowledge, I have categorized. So based on sense means Laukika. Laukika means ordinary perception. So here, whatever you are directly seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. So that is, you are using your five senses, no? If all those five senses, the knowledge you are gaining through that five senses, that is Laukika, that is ordinary perceptions. Next is Alaukika. Alaukika means extraordinary perceptions. So what are the things which we cannot obtain knowledge without these things? That is believing in God or believing in super extraordinary divine forces, no? That is our own belief through mind. So that is Alaukika. That knowledge we are gaining is there, no? That is Alaukika perception. Next, based on reception of knowledge. Here, direct and indirect. So first is direct. Like I said, you are using all the senses. That is direct. So it is through Anubhava. Anubhavam in Tamil, experience. So based on the experience, you are obtaining some knowledge. And as for indirect perception, you are using memory. See here, this is more like spiritual. Alaukika knowledge is more like, perception is more like spiritual oriented. But here indirect perception is mainly based on the memory oriented. You have already gained a perception through direct method which you have stored in your memory, and when you are not directly like if I am saying apple, you are using your ears sound to understand that, but immediately you are perceiving that apple image and color. So that comes from memory, not directly from the sense all these five senses. So that is indirect perception. So see here they are given, no? So the apple looks like this, knowledge gets fed into our memory. So whenever we see red colored or round shaped fruit, we can easily associate with the apple. So our memory directly categorizes it. So this is the types of Pratyaksha. Next is Anumana. Anumana means inference. In Tamil, Anumanam. But I have checked in Google Translate also. The direct meaning immediately coming for Anumanam in Tamil is assumption. But it like a single word could mean for many meanings, no? So likewise, Anumana is also inference. But the direct word it is coming mainly primarily used is assumption, Anumanam. So we should not confuse assumption with inference. Assumptions may or may not have any basis or logic, but inference purely comes from logic. Without any solid data, you cannot infer anything. So here you have to understand the comparison here. So Anu plus Mana or Mana, that is after knowledge. So Anumana, you are after the knowledge. So Anumana is possible only after the perception. Like I said, no, that is the perception. Pratyaksha is the basis for all the other things. So Anumana is possible only after the perception. So Charvaka Darshana, that is yesterday we have seen that Nastic group, no, they have not considered it as a Brahmana or Brahmana. So here it is considered as a discrete means of attaining knowledge. You are inferring something based on the data given to you. So it is also explained as the act of inferring knowledge about an unknown fact from the known fact. So simply, I am scooping a sea water with a tumbler or a glass. So I am testing that water for certain features. All the features I am obtaining, I can assume here or I can infer the same properties could be applicable for the vast sea. But I cannot completely say that it won't change throughout the sea, because even I have seen videos in Instagram that I am not sure whether the location is right or not. Still, in Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean, they don't mingle. Each ocean doesn't mingle with the other thing. So there would be a distinct line and a different color. So, but if I scoop the water from both the oceans, at the maximum, majority of the 90% of whatever features or characteristics in the scoop water will be applicable to both the ocean water. So that is how I am inferring knowledge about an unknown fact from a known fact. So Anumiti is the knowledge attained after determination. See here, you are assuming, you are inferring. So the inferring process is Anumana. The knowledge you gained after inferring, that is Anumiti. So Anumana is the instrumental cause of the attainment of inferential knowledge, which is stated as Anumiti. So Anumana is the indirect knowledge acquired through inference. So how we are arriving at the inference? We are observing a particular phenomenon and the subsequent application of a general principle, like so many experiments in I think previously, I don't know which class, I have given an example about simple pendulum. That experiment, no matter in which part of earth you are performing, the final data value would be 9.81. It should come as 9.81. So, but when you increase the number of digits, it might vary, 9.8123 or 9.814657, something like that. So here you are observing a particular phenomenon and you are repeating the same phenomenon to a different general thing to explain it. So if we observe smoke rising from a distant hill, we infer that there is a fire based on the general principle that smoke is produced by fire. It could be without fire also. Nowadays anywhere other some other chemicals might also create smoke without causing fire. But our general knowledge or general idea is that whenever we see a smoke, we could say that there is a fire or there was a fire, like that we can say. So that is the inference part. So types of Anumana. Here three types are there. First is Purvavat, that is prior knowledge. Purvam. So earlier we are having Purvavat inference is when we infer the existence of a cause from the effect. That is, see here, we are, if a building falls down, we could say it was caused due to earthquake. So that is, we are inferring the existence of cause, why it is caused from the effect. So building fall down, that was the effect. We assumed or we are inferring the cause, that is earthquake was there. Next is Seshavat, that is posterior knowledge. Seshavat inference is when we infer the existence of effect from the cause. So that is the reversal of the previous one. So here we can say that we know that there is a earthquake is happening or a flood is coming. So we know that there is a high possibility, we infer that this building, a big building might fall down. So we are inferring in the reverse manner. Next is Samanyato Drishta. Samanyan. So Samanyan means common people. Here Drishta means they are saying it as knowledge. So instead of common, they are saying universal. So Samanyato Drishta, it means when we infer a universal principle from particular instances. So when we see a sun rising, we could say that sun is this much temperature, all those things, no? So it is a common knowledge to, we can infer all those things. So that is the types of Anumana. Next is elements of Anumana. So wherever an inference, that is Anumana, is formed, these three elements should be there. First is the Hetu, that is reason. Hetu is the reason or the ground on which the inference is made. Next is Sadhya or Sadhya Kurugal. Like, so these are all the possible. We are proposing the possibilities. So the Sadhya is the proposition that is inferred. So we are inferring one idea and we are proposing the possibilities. So if I am saying I am going to ride a bike from one place to another place without any helmet, that means there is the, now I have given you the reason, that is without helmet. So you might propose that I might go safely or I might not completely go safely. In between the accidents, all those things, no? So even traffic police interruption, all those things you are proposing. Sadhya Kurugal. So that is the thing we are proposing. So that is the another element. Next is the Paksha, that is subject. Paksha is the subject or the locus of inference. So on what basis, that is not just basis, on about what you are inferring. So here the same example I am saying, you are inferring about my bike ride, not just bike or helmet alone. You are inferring the or proposing based on the reason. You are, the core subject is my bike ride. So bike ride is the subject, that is the Paksha. So here, based on that, considering it as a locus of inference, that is the assumption or inference we are making. So here, elements of Anumana are the Hetu, Sadhya, Paksha. So these are the things. Next is Upamana. Upamana, like yesterday I said, it is a comparison or analogy. So Upamana is used to understand the nature of an object by comparing it to something that is already known. We all know about a common that proverb. No, you tell about your friend, I will tell about you, because we are comparing your friend with you. So if he is something like that, then you might be like this. So that is the, I don't know anything about you, but after gathering relevant data about your friend, I am comparing it to you so that you will also have similar characteristics. That is how, in order to find the unknown, I am comparing it with a known factor. In simple measurements, we can say it as scales. Like you are measuring with the ruler the distance or length of a particular object. You don't know the length of the object, so you are using a fixed reference and comparing with side by side. Then you are making comparing and assuming, learning that total length is this much. So that is how Upamana works. So it is basically based on comparison, not just perception and assumptions. So a person knows a four-legged animal that barks is called a dog. So when he goes to a jungle and sees a similar looking animal, he can relate that it's a wild dog that has four legs and barks. So this knowledge is possible when there is an earlier similarity with a particular thing, which helps the person to compare both similar things. So when a human classification, anatomy in biology, zoology, I'm saying. So in the classification, there is a category, we ourselves come under the vertebrate category. That is the person, people with or animals with backbone. So in the vertebrate category, whichever animal has backbone, they all fall under this category. So that means there are so much different kinds of animals that have backbone. They come under this vertebrate category, and in that vertebrate only we are further classifying it as Homo sapiens and all those animals, no, science animals. So here we are comparing with one thing with another. Next is here also elements of Upamana. So Upamana, we have three elements. One is Upameya, second is Upama, third is Samanya. So see here, Upameya means the object being compared, which that is the unknown object. Next is Upama, the object of comparison. Here we said about the scale. Next is the Samanya, the common attribute. What is on what basis you are comparing? To be precise, even the example I have given, that ruler measuring, no, that is also wrong, because we have a fixed thing and another one is not related to this thing. So instead of that, instead of having a fixed value, I am considering if a boy is there, I am going to another place, I am saying is a similar boy. I don't know whether it is boy or not, but based on his hair features, eyes, nose, everything, I am considering him or that person to be a boy. So that is the comparison, but that need not exactly 100% to be true on that aspect. Still, the common attribute we are comparing, that is known as Samanya, and the unknown, the known, it is known as Upama, and the unknown is Upameya. Next is Shabda. So in some words it is called the Shabda. But there is a confusion with why I have used H here means. So Shabda means it is actually in 7. Sapta Kannigal in you might have heard in temple and all. Sapta Kannigal, even Saptami. That is Sapta means 7. So actually I don't know whether I am saying correct or not. Saptami, just a minute. Yes, Sapta means 7. I am saying correct only. So 7.
It's actually SAP. SAP 7 would be SAP, not SAD.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. But the thing here I want to clarify is, Jatin, since I don't know whether you know about that or not. In other than Tamil, many languages follow the sound pronunciation form, so that each have different letters. But in Tamil, no matter you use, unless otherwise you pronounce it correctly in literary form, that is in verbal letter form, both will come as the same spelling. So that is the thing in Tamil. So that's why I wanted to clarify. Hope you get it. Yes?
Okay, sure.
So in Hindi you have 4 kas, in Sanskrit also 4 kas, in Malayalam also 4 kas and 1 nga. That is ka ka ga ga nga. But in Tamil, ka nga, that's it. So ka, it is applicable for Magan also same, and Makkal also same, everything, it is Makan, all those things, the same letter will be coming. So unless otherwise it is pronounced correctly, there is a confusion in that. That's why I wanted to clarify here. So that's why, in order to avoid confusion, I have added the word Shabda. So here, once I say Shabda means, it automatically understood that it mostly denoting the sound. In Tamil it is Sabdam. So that's why I have added this word here. Hope you understand, right? So Shabda
Yes,
or verbal, okay. So Shabda or verbal testimony is based on the word of an authority. So some people are saying something. They are, I am believing those people are very reliable persons. So I am accepting whatever they are saying. So that is a verbal testimony. When I am going to a new mall or theater or a food restaurant, if my friend has gone there, I am accepting his verbal testimony, his own experience, and I am accepting it. And then if he says good, then I will go. If he says bad, then I won't go. That is the authority I am given here. But here, since it is logic, whatever are the logic forms which we are accepting in a grandeur manner, all those words of authority is considered as Shabda. So it involves accepting the truth of a proposition based on the testimony of someone. We need not to verify, or we haven't verified. So just based on the testimony of someone, since they are considered as an authority in that particular field, like any experts in a case, so we will be discussing something now. Once they say, like even meteorological, so weather people, they are saying today rain will come, we need not to measure anything based on keeping our own instruments. We assume, or we believe that those people are expert in their fields, so whatever they say, that is true, we are believing, we are accepting. So that is the Shabda. So it is considered as the most reliable of all the Pramanas. See here, but to be honest, this is, in my personal opinion, this is false. Why? Because nowadays each and everything is very much differing. We cannot rely on everything. But in those times, in Indian logic, based on that, if one person is expert in a particular field, then their word is the gospel of that thing. So Shabda is considered to be the most reliable of all the Pramanas according to Indian logic. So this is mainly through verbal indication. So we get a lot of knowledge through verbal statements, symbols, text or words, even our own literary formats, Ramayana, Mahabharatam, Tirukkural, whatever literary, whether it is right or wrong, true, we, not, if not everyone, most of the people believe and take that as a gospel and follow in their own life. So we either say this or write this. So a verbal statement must have a valid cause for its information to be true. So here, earlier in Indian philosophies, Vedas, that four Vedas, no, they were considered to be the most reliable source of knowledge. But after the Westerners came, so the Western philosophers discarded this idea and named it as context-based knowledge, not as a reliable source of knowledge. They just named it as a, based on certain context, we are acquiring some knowledge. So they named it as context-based knowledge. In nowadays, we rely on books, newspaper, as we scholars, we go through articles and all those things. No? So we rely on books, newspapers, TV news to form our opinions. So here also, Shabda has two elements. First is Shabda Pramana, second one is Shabda. So Shabda Pramana means verbal authority. The people who are saying, in Tamil it is Tirukkural, because that is the common known literature. So that's why I am using that. So verbal authority. Thiruvalluvar, the person who wrote that Tirukkural, he is the verbal authority. So whatever in Tirukkural it is being said, it is accepted as okay, it is true. So, and on what exactly they are explaining about that particular context, the statement, that is the Shabda. So Shabda Pramana is Tirukkural and Shabda is the particular Kural which you are trying to get information about. So these are the elements of Shabda. Next, types of Shabda. See here also Laukika is coming. So Vaidika Shabda, Laukika Shabda. So Vaidika Shabda means Apta Vakya. Vakyam means in Vakya is in Tamil Vakyam, after, front or like which it is the without error. So statements from Vedas considered infallible and eternal by Mimamsa and Vedanta schools. So these people believe if it is written in Veda, that is true. So that is the Apta Vakya. Vaidika Shabda, they are believing that. Laukika Shabda means secular testimony. That is, we are taking statements from the reliable persons who we believe to be experts in their fields with scientific knowledge. So when a scientist, a chemical scientist says this atom is divided into this thing, we take it as a acceptance from their word of testimony. So this is the types of Shabda. So that's all for today's class, and these are the bibliographies. So thank you.